design enthusiasts, I'm Channel Does Art, and I can't wait to take you on an awe-inspiring journey into the mesmerizing realm of flat art design. If you've ever been spellbound by those eye-catching visuals that pop off the screen and yet seem so elegant, simple, then this video is tailored just for you. So let's get started. I'm not going to have anything to download to follow along today. We're just going to do this off the top of our heads and make some really cool icons, or you can use them for stickers or anything that you like. So let's get started. The first one we're going to do is a watermelon, and I've divided my canvas up into 4 shapes right here, 4 sections. So let's just start maybe with this one right here. That's fine. And I'm using the monoline brush because in flat art design you don't want the thick to thin like I usually do. We're just going to do a single kind of shape, and that's a little bit too big, so let me see. 8%? 8% looks good. So we're going to use 8% on a monoline brush, and I've just got black. So what we're going to do first is it's just going to be a watermelon slice. So I'm just going to do a straight line and hold your pen down, and it will make you a perfectly straight line, and then we're going to connect in a circle or a half circle the 2 ends here. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a rind here on the outside, and it's basically just going to follow along this same arc here. We're going to hold our pen down to make that perfectly straight, and we can edit it here if we like. Edit our ellipse. I think that's good. And then I'm just going to connect these parts here that moved. Okay, just like that. I think that's good. All right, and then we're going to do some seeds here. So I'm going to make my pen a little bit smaller so we can get that sharp edge on the seed. I'm going to go down to 5%. And then kind of like that. Just little watermelon seed shapes. I'm just going to make kind of a half circle here following along the rind. Just like that. That's good. Alright, and now what we're going to do is we're going to color it in first. And I'm going to create a new layer under our line work. I'm going to click on our line work and set it to reference. Alright, and colors. I'm going to kind of make a rich, or actually this paler. So you guys can use any color you want, and I don't like how that filled because the threshold is really low. So if you've watched my coloring video, you'll know what I'm talking about on that. So now we got our red in there, and then let's go ahead and put in our green portion here. And I'm going to do this very light green right there. Okay, just like that. And you can see the flat art design, it's very simple, but it's really stands out, especially when you use it for an icon or use it for stickers. They're really nice. Okay, so now we got our line work colored in. And the beauty of this flat art design is the simplicity of it. The colors are very muted. They're not very vibrant, which is kind of nice. And they're easy to print out as a sticker, or you can reduce them to an icon size and use them for icons on your PC and stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new layer on top of our colors, and we're going to set that as a clipping mask so it'll color only on top of the colors here. We're going to click a little bit darker red, and as if the light is coming in from the top here, I'm going to start maybe about a little bit over halfway. And just bring an arc down like that. And I'm just going to color that all in right there. So you can see it creates a little shadow. And we don't want a lot of details on flat art designs. So we're going to do the same thing on the green part. So going to go a little bit darker, and then basically the same thing. We're going to start up about right where the other one was. I'm just going to bring it down and color it in. Okay, and I'm not sure that's a little dark. So what? Another thing what you can do is, if I put this green part on another layer, so let's say I did this and I wasn't happy with it. Maybe I wasn't happy with that shade of green. So because it's on its own layer, what we can do now is we can go up to the little adjustments layer here and go to the hue saturation, and we can kind of change it a little bit. So if I thought that was a little bit too saturated, I could take the saturation down, and I could take the brightness and change it too. So maybe that's a little bit better, I think. And then the same thing with the red. You could do that also. You could take the red layer, go to the adjustments, and we could change it to anything that we wanted, really. But anyway, that is this part. Now what I want to do to give it a little bit more pizzazz, go to your eraser tool, go back up to your outline layer, and then we're going to make some breaks in the line. Actually, that was a little bit too big. What do I got my eraser set to? Let me set my eraser to my monoline brush also. And then we're just going to take a little piece out, just like that. And then over here we're going to take that piece out. Alright? We don't want it white though. Alright, so let's pick our green here. We'll go back to our layer where the color is at, the green layer, and we're just going to kind of halfway. That's good enough. And then on this one we're going to go with that red color and kind of halfway. And then the other half's going to be this green. Here we go. Alright, and then let's erase maybe a line up here. Maybe right there. And then we can click on that red. Go back to our red color again. What? Oh, okay. I've got it on clipping mask so it won't color outside, but I took it off. There you go. Alright, and that's going to be it for the watermelon. Let's move on to the next one. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a pizza. Alright, so basically the same kind of concept, but we're going to that's better. This I don't, all these little jagged extras still, I just don't like it. Okay, so about like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in some pepperonis. So we're going to make perfect circles. So just go all the way around, hold your other finger down, and you can make a perfect circle. We'll put one right here. Put a little one here. Okay, and let's put one up here. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, and this little pizza's going to have a face on him. So we're going to do an eyeball. And then put the mouth right in the center. So, I don't know what that does, but when you have it like directly between the eyes, it just makes it look so cute. Alright, let's do our coloring now. So I'm going to start a new layer under it. I'm going to set our line layer to reference. That way when we drop our colors in, they'll go within the lines. And then our pizza, we can have a yellow color, maybe that one. Drop that in. And then the dough is going to be an orange, maybe that color right there. Oops, I dropped it on the line. Okay, and our pepperoni is going to be a red. So let's do that one. And then if you hit continue filling, you can just tap. There we go. So there we are, color flats, very simple. Okay, so now that we got our color flats in, what we're going to do is create a new layer on top of the colors. We're going to set it to clipping mask. And now we're going to do maybe this darker orange. I'm going to put a little shadow right here in the corner. Just like that. And then the yellow, a little bit, I don't see any that I really like. I think that's a way too dark. I'm going to click this yellow color here, and I'll show you what we can do. We can go to classic down here. So we've got our yellow, and then we're going to make it a little darker and then a little more saturated. All right, and then we're going to go along the bottom here. So maybe like that. And fill that in, and then we're going to go up the side here too. And then we're just going to fill all that in. So just about like that. If you want to, you can round this edge off right here where the shadows are. It'll look a little bit better rounded instead of flat. And that's about it, but here's something else you could do. So again, we could take that base yellow color there, and then we could lighten it up, go up and then to the left a little bit. Okay, and this is going to be like a highlight. So on the opposite side of where the shadows are, you just make a little highlight just like that. Okay, and then you could do the same thing on the orange. So if you wanted to make a highlight on the orange, up and a little bit to the left, and then on the opposite side of where the shadow is, you could put a highlight there. You could do the same thing for the pepperonis if you'd like, you know, just however much detail you'd like. So for instance, a little darker, a little more saturated, and then we could just do the bottoms. Just the bottoms of the pepperoni to create like a little shadow, just like that. And there, our pizza is done. All right, let's put all these in a group by themselves. We'll name that group pizza. And there's our pizza. All right, let's start a new one. We're gonna go with black again. Got our monoline brush set, and this one's we're gonna do a carrot. Okay, so our carrot is going to be kind of like this, but I'm gonna make him a little short and fat. So I'm gonna do the rounded portion first. And hold my finger down to make a perfect circle. And then do like that. All right, let's mix some leaves here on the top. So we're gonna do some half circles. We'll do one there. Let's do one coming out right here. Okay, we'll do another one coming out right here. Okay, just like that. And he's a little big, so I'm going to shrink him down a little bit. There we go. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to create a little line here in the center of the leaves. All right, and one right there, and another one right there. Okay, that looks good, and let's put him a little face in here. Just like that, there's our carrot. Still on the pizza layer. All right, so let's create a new layer. We'll put him under our line work, set our line work to reference. Okay, then drag and drop our orange in there. We're gonna do a very light green for the middle one. And I'm gonna do a little bit darker greens for the two on the side. So just like that. Alright, and we're gonna do a new layer on top of that. I'm gonna set it to clipping mask. And then we're gonna go to this darker orange right there. And let's put in a shadow. On this side of the carrot. There we go. That's good. And we could basically do the same things for the leaves here. So go to that green. And we're going to go to classic and just down and to the right a little bit. Okay, and then this side here is going to basically be the same thing. And we'll do the one for the lighter green one too. So down a little bit to the right. And there's the shadow for that. We'll go along this leaf right there too. And then if we want to do a highlight on this other side, so just make it a little bit lighter. And we'll do kind of like that. And then we can do the same thing on the leaves. And then maybe the green one. That one's not going to have a highlight on it because it's kind of hidden. So I'm going to select that, and then we'll just make it a little bit lighter. Here we go. There's our little carrot, and let's take some pieces off of him too. So I'm going to go back to my line art and to my eraser. I'm going to cut off a piece here and maybe right there. All right. And I'm going to fill in the color here. Make sure I go back to my color layer. Fill that one in, and this is going to be kind of the highlight. Just like that. And there's our carrot. So you can see they're very cute. I really love this style. Very simple. Colors are muted, not high saturation. All right, so let's do this one, and that one, and we'll make a new group, and we'll name it Carrot. C-A-R-R-O-T. All right. Return. There we go. All right, one more, last one. We're gonna do. We'll go to black. We're gonna do a banana. All right, and then you know, I'm gonna come in here and here, and then we're gonna make a face on him too. Eye here, eye there, and a cute little smile. All right, and let's look at our colors here. Set our line work to reference. And the top's gonna be maybe this green over here. So let's put, okay, and let's do another layer on top of that, clipping mask it, and then we're gonna get I want this one more kind of orangish, maybe that right there. Let's see if I did right here. And then what you can do, if you turn off your reference layer, we can now drag and drop this closed shape. That makes life a little bit easier. All right, and then let's do we'll do some pink cheeks. I'm gonna go to my soft airbrush. Take it down a little bit more. I'm down at maybe 3%. All right. And then let's erase some of it. So go back to our line work, our eraser tool. We'll take off that. And I think that's it. There we go. Alright, and there you are, 4 designs. And if we turn the background off, you can see how they're going to look if you turn them into stickers. Or you can turn them into icons. You can shrink them down to icon size, and you can switch out your icons on your computer, on your laptop, on your iPad, whatever you like, and just have fun with it. So that is going to do it for this week's Procreate tutorial. I hope you learned something, and I'd love to see what you guys create. If you put it up on Instagram, tag it with the tags of Chamel Does Art, I'll be able to take a look at that and comment on it. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Take care.